Thanks so much for joining us today on Feelin Good, sponsored by Warren County Community Services. Today, as you can see, we are not in the studio. I mean, it's Fair Week. It's Warren County Fair Week. And we have a beautiful day. We have a beautiful location, actually here in the Warren County Community Services mobile unit at the Warren County Fair. And I'd like to introduce to you the CEO of Warren County Community Services, Donna Fogarty, who I know you've met before. It's probably been a few months when we first introduced you, when you first came.
It's been a couple of years,
yes,
I think.
I guess how time flies.
I know.
And we thought this would be a perfect time to get together again and see what's happening with Warren County Community Services. And so we appreciate the fact that you have a nice air-conditioned mobile unit here for us to use. So thanks for joining us and tell us what's happening at Warren County Community Services.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming out and meeting with us here. And we've had tons of great changes. And I think because we're here on the mobile unit, I should probably talk about it first. We did receive a special grant back at the end of 2022 to purchase the mobile outreach unit. And the reason we did that is we felt like there were so many people who really couldn't come in and see us and apply for the HEAP services, but lots of folks out in the remote areas of the county who really hadn't ever been served or had a chance to be served, because we don't traditionally go out to them. You know, we ask them to come to us. So we did take advantage of that grant, the ARPA grant, and we purchased this mobile unit. And since the beginning of 2023, we've been out on the road with it.
Oh my.
And doing just different outreach events. And, you know, my staff came to me and said, you know, when the fair came up and they were just like, we really want to go and we want to take the mobile unit there. And this would be a great opportunity for us to do just some outreach, you know, across the county for everyone who visits the fair and to be able to see, you know, everything that we do and share all the other great things that we do. So,
well, and I'm not even so sure that our folks, our audience that watches Feelin Good realizes the vast array of services you provide. And I thought, well, this would be a perfect opportunity because I also noticed that you're kind of updating the logo. Tell us about that?
We are, sure.
Okay.
So we have done a lot of work in the last year, started working on trying to move along our strategic plan and get some of those things in place. One of the things on our strategic plan that we found was we really needed to increase our public awareness. And so we ended up contracting with a marketing firm and have been working with them for about 1.5 years now. And one of the big things that has come from that is, of course, our new logo. We got a logo refresh. And so you will start seeing some changes as we transition into the new logo. You might see our old logo around for a little while on some of our things, you know, our vans and some of our transportation vehicles. But as we get new ones, we'll wrap them with the new logo. So working on signage and really working on our social media presence, working on making sure that we are really training our staff so that they can go out and share the message of WCCS and everyone's saying the same thing. And we are getting some good training from our marketing folks on that. So that's been exciting. The other thing that we did with the marketing firm is we ended up rebranding entirely one of our really awesome adult literacy programs, which has been known as Adult New Readers for years. But what we were hearing back from, and especially our partners, the public libraries who do a lot of marketing for us and connect us with people needing that service, they were asking us, you know, you need a new name. We feel like it's kind of hard to explain what it is, and especially to people who may not speak English. And so we did a poll, we worked with them, and we came up with Literacy Connections is the new name.
Okay, great.
So you'll also start seeing that transition from
and
adult
will that
e-readers.
Still have the same focus and the same locations, but just a different name?
Just a different name.
Okay, well, it's good to know because I had been a volunteer and I did not even realize that was in the midst of the changes and updating. So that's great.
Yeah. And so we'll be rolling that out as well soon. We've got new program logos, which kind of come with the parent logo in different colors. Okay. And just really moving ahead with that.
Well, I'm noticing, isn't the logo kind of a heart?
So it is. It's the Huggy Heart is what we call it in the community action world. Right. And that's the other big exciting thing for us. We did get our community action designation. So we were working on that for almost a year, from the end of 22 until the fall of 23. What's required to do that is I had to go to at least 2/3 of our municipalities in Warren County and get their endorsement. And I am happy to say that everybody was just fantastic. They let me come and talk at their city council meetings, and they gave us the endorsement, so we got that. The next step was to take that to the Department of Development in Columbus and make sure they had all the paperwork, and they did a public hearing, and officially on June 14th, it was signed by the director, and we had a really awesome media event there at our South Lebanon Early Learning Center. And, just exciting that we are actually now the designated agency for Warren County. And so for many years before that, we were serving under a different community action agency in Dayton. We got our community action funding went to them, and then we got a portion of it to serve Warren County. So now we get that funding directly, and it's increased so we can serve more people, do some more creative things.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even, I'm learning so much just in these first few minutes. I really did not realize the organizational structure. And so that bodes very well for Warren County, doesn't it?
And, Representative Matthews was there at the media event, and he spoke, and he, kind of in keeping with what he was saying was, it's like, we are now we are Warren County, we're here, we're not serving, the Dayton area, we're not Cincinnati, and this is, we're here to serve Warren County.
Okay. Well, let's start as our audience is noticing. Your laptop is kind of reviewing all the different programs. And I don't know if you want to follow along. We might not be able to talk as fast.
I might not be able to as quickly.
But let's start. Let's start with HEAP.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So we talked a lot about HEAP when we first started having the conversation here about the mobile unit. So the Home Energy Assistance Program is it's a federal program that goes to states, and then states give it out to community action agencies to distribute. And it is for families who are struggling to keep their heat on or their cooling on.
Okay.
We have winter crisis and summer crisis, and anyone who's eligible can receive that payment or that assistance on their bill so that they can continue to stay warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
Okay.
And it also works for bulk fuel. If you heat your home with, some kind of bulk fuel, then we can help with that as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, and all of these services that we refer to, for folks that are interested in finding out more information, is there one main number that they should call, or are there individual numbers for each one of the services?
So in order, there's usually a line that you'll call for the different services. Okay. But the best way to reach us and to find out what we have and to get that information is to go to our website. And that's WCCSI.org. And everything is listed. You can pull down our programs and then see how to contact us if you're interested in seeing if you're eligible.
Okay, very good. Well, why don't we, basically the purpose of Warren County Community Services, what would you say if people have no idea what you do.
So we really are rooted in community action, and community action was born out of the War on Poverty in 1964 with the Economic Opportunity Act.
Okay.
So everything that we do is meant to help people kind of overcome some difficulties financially, emotionally, with education barriers, with access to medical care barriers, access to transportation. Everything that we do is meant to help people kind of live a higher quality life, and meant to address the causes and conditions of poverty. So we do wonderful early childhood education for those who qualify for Head Start. We've got 4 learning centers located throughout the county, and we also provide high quality childcare there as well. We do early Head Start, which is 0 to 3. Because we're born learning.
Right. Lifelong learners. Right.
Yep, exactly. And then the Head Start program is from 3 to 5, and just really getting them ready for school success. And the fantastic thing is this last year, we were able to get the schools in all the schools throughout the county to be able to give us those scores for the kiddos that go to kindergarten from our Head Start program. So now we can start tracking and seeing, do we really make a difference? Okay. Are they really ready? And do they score better than, or as on target, with their peers? Okay. So that's exciting.
Well, it's good that you mentioned the early childhood education, because very often when we talk about Warren County Community Services, I might make mention of Meals on Wheels. Right. Or some senior program, and not really focused on the array. And it's really from birth through life, isn't it, that you have services?
Yes, yeah. And that's really kind of part of our new elevator speech, if you will, is that we serve people of all ages across the lifespan, and really helping people be just the best version of themselves, or gain the best access to what they need. And so pretty exciting, the wide range of people that we serve.
Oh, I'm sure.
And that also allows us to advocate for things that we see that are happening with our elderly population, or with our young students, or with our families who are struggling. Because we're really on the front lines, and we hear when people are not doing well.
Right. And are you seeing in Warren County those numbers increase?
So we have. My emergency services department, which kind of takes those calls, they're usually the first call when somebody can't pay their rent, or, is wondering how they're going to pay their rent, or if they feel like they're going to get evicted, or if they, are not able to pay their utility bill. So they are hearing from a lot of families who are really starting to struggle. These are usually higher income, higher earner families that have lost that main job and aren't able to find anything in their field. And they're really down to the wire, having some difficulty in really making their mortgage payments. And so we really are seeing that shift. I don't know if it's directly, a result of COVID, or if the time that came from COVID, later with the jobs. Right. But it's an unfortunate shift that we are seeing.
And do people typically, are they pretty forthright about seeking help or not?
I grew up and not wealthy at all, and I know that it's not easy to ask for help. So we do see people that it's very difficult for them to really reach out, but just know that our staff are just wonderful people. They're trained. They're going to listen to you and meet you where you are. And if we can't help you, we try to do our best to send you somewhere, give you referrals to maybe somewhere that can help you.
Very good. Yeah. Do you have volunteers helping in addition to your staff members?
We do. We have lots of volunteers through the Retired Senior Volunteer Program. We have about 170 volunteers in 2023, and I think we're closer to about 200 now. And we really try to spread the volunteers out across the county, at different nonprofits and places where they can find just meaningful service.
Mm-hmm.
As I look ahead at retirement time, I don't want to just stop giving back.
Right.
So this is really a way to be able to give back to either us as a nonprofit or another nonprofit in the county. And so our RSVP program is
Right.
very successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, are there other programs that we haven't talked about?
We have our affordable housing. And so
Oh.
that's another pretty exciting thing
Yes.
that we did this year is we closed on a rehab project for 2 of our sites. So we have 10 affordable senior housing sites throughout the county, and we have 1 affordable family housing site in Lebanon. And 2 of those sites, we were able to get funding to rehab them.
Okay.
And so in Springboro and the Springboro Commons in Springboro and Sherman Glen in Franklin. And I think we started construction or rehab started like February 1st. And we're really making headway on that in Springboro at Springboro Commons. And then we'll move to Sherman Glen once that's all rehabbed, and we bring our residents back and we'll rehab Sherman Glen.
Okay.
So that was pretty exciting. We've, a lot of our housing sites were developed in the late 90s, some in the early 90s, some in the early 2000s, and a few of them like maybe in the 2010s. But we really are looking at assets that are aging. And we want to make sure that the people who live there have the best place to live as they age, and so they can continue remaining at home and living independently.
Good. Well, I did not realize that you had these updated, projects ongoing.
Yeah.
So again, I'm learning. So I don't know if our audience is learning, but I'm learning. So listen in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go on, and I don't want to miss anything. Of course, Meals on Wheels.
Yes,
we always
of course.
talk about.
Yeah, our
Right.
senior nutrition program. That's another not big change, but we did expand that program last year. We were asked by Council on Aging, who is kind of the administrator of those funds, to expand and take on some clients in Butler County. They had a provider who closed down. And so they were kind of scrambling to try to find, to make sure that people ate, didn't miss their meal, because we don't want that. I mean, a lot of our individuals really rely on that meal to help them, stay healthy. And so we took on, we got a call on Friday about a year ago, asked to see if we could take on more clients and start delivering more meals the next week.
Oh my.
So by Tuesday we did. And we continued to take more on to be able to help fill that gap. And, Council on Aging actually recognized our team for that at their conference this last spring.
Great.
And we are also working with them on taking over a few more of their congregate dining sites as well.
Very good.
So we have just continued to grow in that area. It's a testament to the hard work of that team, but also, they do a customer satisfaction survey every quarter, and on the meals and the service, they received 100% in almost every area. Who gets 100% satisfaction?
Right.
They're
Right.
fantastic.
Right.
But also, the need is out there, and so we're lucky that we're able to help fill that need.
Well, and you never know when you're going to need it. I mean, don't think that you might never need any of these services just because you can't envision that today, but that doesn't mean that a situation couldn't occur where suddenly you're wondering, is there a service that I can call? I've had people ask me, and related to Meals on Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And Meals on Wheels is a very, a service close to my heart because my parents, now in North Central Ohio, they were volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was they went out and delivered the
Mm-hmm.
Meals on Wheels, and used their own car and so forth. So anyway, So I knew they were involved. And then after my mother passed away, then my dad actually received Meals on Wheels meals. And in addition to the meals, I always say it was like the visitor. It might be the
that
only
human
person
touch.
that he saw that day. And that meant so much to him. So I thought if there was ever an opportunity where I could either volunteer directly for Meals on Wheels or do what I'm doing and volunteering for Feelin Good, that I went to promote the programs, because I know firsthand how important they are.
It's vital. And, you know, I only wish we could serve more meals, you know, because there's so many of our seniors living on fixed incomes who truly do rely on that meal to not go hungry. So,
Indeed. So, okay, we've talked about affordable housing, other aging services that you'd like to mention. And we do have the director of the center,
the
which is
senior
still,
center,
still located out
Yes.
in the Otterbein area. People might be familiar with that. And we'll talk to her the next half of the program. And we'll go outside the mobile unit and we'll talk to Laura Lynn. Yes. So are there other things that you would like to mention?
Sure. We do the elderly services program. It just popped up. But in our aging services, we do have senior transportation, medical and non-medical. And then our elderly services program is actually care management. And so we've got a pretty great team of staff who really check in, do a needs assessment, and help coordinate just all kinds of different services for those who qualify for the program. They're the ones who will put that order in for Meals on Wheels if a client needs it, or help them get connected to the transportation department, or help them get connected to somebody who can hopefully come in and help them kind of manage their home. You know, a lot of our aging neighbors have difficulty, you know, just keeping the house clean or taking their garbage out. And so, you know, there's a lot of home care services that are needed too, and they help coordinate that. Anything to really help that individual stay in their home safely and independently for as long as possible.
Perfect. Very valuable.
Very valuable.
Okay. Well, are there things that are upcoming, any activities or anything you'd like to promote that is maybe on the horizon?
So I knew you were going to ask me that, and I thought of something, and then now it's escaped my mind. But nothing that I can really think of right this second. We're just out there, just trying to make Warren County as great as possible.
So when you're at events like the fair, and the fair will be well attended now that the weather has cooled off a little bit, they'll probably have even more attendance. Do you find the majority of people you speak to already know or think they know about WCCS? Or are they like, I'm saying today, I'm learning so much?
Learning more, lots of folks don't know who we are, or they know that we do Meals on Wheels and think that's, kind of the only thing that we do. So, and that was something that I kind of ran into going and talking with everyone at, all the different city council meetings was, I explained everything that we do and shared kind of some more up-to-date stats about who we served, especially in the different municipalities. And they just were like, oh, I just thought you did Meals on Wheels. Or my neighbor has a child in Head Start, so I thought you just did Head Start, early childhood learning, So, no, most people do not know the span of services that we provide. So being somewhere like this gives us the opportunity to really educate folks that we're not just kind of a single service provider, that we do quite a few things.
Very good. So for people that would either like to volunteer their time, or their talent, or their treasure. Is there a way to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Go back to the website, and there's a place where you can look and see that you can volunteer, you can donate. There's a donate button. And there's all kinds of other ways that you can just really interact with us on the website to find out what you might want to do with us.
Okay.
If there's, a particular service that really speaks to you that you want to be involved in, we're happy to place you there as a volunteer.
Okay,
So,
very good. Well, thanks so much
Of course.
for explaining
Yeah.
and taking the time today, because like I say, I've learned so much. And I guess in the whole rebranding of WCCS, it gives you a good opportunity to even refresh the image for people that are veterans, and know veterans in terms of knowing the organization. Now they're hearing even more things that you're doing. And so on that note, I think we'll take just a little break and we'll go outside, set up the camera, and talk to Laura Lynn about other activities that are going on out at the center and so forth. Oh, would you like to mention where your office is?
Yeah, our administrative offices are located at 645 Oak Street in Lebanon, and we have quite a few services that run out of that as well. Our HEAP, our community services, our RSVP, our literacy connections. It's hard to make that change.
Right.
And I'm trying to think. I think that's most of the services that come out of there. And then, of course, our administrative services. Okay. And then we have several other facilities, our early learning centers and different working offices throughout the county.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So we're going to take a break now, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. We're on the outside of the mobile unit, and as you can see, it has a lovely wrap that shows people that this is the WCCS mobile unit here at the Warren County Fair. So the sounds that you're hearing in the background are classic fair sounds. So hopefully you'll be able to hear us talk about some additional locations that are under the umbrella of Warren County Community Services. So I'm here to now introduce to you Laura Lynn, and Laura is going to tell us more about her responsibilities with Warren County Community Services and the location where you work.
So I work out at the 741 Center. It's a senior center. And I also run the supportive services program out there.
And that is located?
At 570 State Route 741.
And so most people would know that as kind of the Otterbein area.
It's
correct?
right across from Otterbein, but we're not affiliated with Otterbein.
Right. But most people would probably think, oh, I know where that is. So tell us what goes on at the center, what activities and
we
so
have
on.
a lot of activities. We have a lot of fun out there. I try to really open it up, and whatever the seniors want, I try to give them. So they can come to me with any new groups that they want to do, and I'll try to put it on there. But we have book clubs, we have parties, we have bingos, we have silver sneakers, we have mahjong, we have euchre, we have Texas Hold'em. We just have, you name it, we've probably got it.
Oh.
So we try to find something for everyone.
Okay, very good. And is this something that, is there a minimal fee involved? Or?
It's a $20 a year donation, but it is a donation.
Okay.
So we would never turn anybody away because they didn't have the money to pay that. That's not what's important. What's important is trying to eliminate social isolation for seniors. So it's just so fun to watch them come out, make new friends, and have a lot of fun.
Well, and especially now that they're finding that social isolation also leads to, mental health issues.
It does. Yep. And we do seminars on different things like that.
Okay.
The more you exercise, the more you socialize, the younger you stay, the younger you feel. So,
okay. Very good. Very good. And so that's kind of the center's activities. Do you still take trips?
They still do a Friday trip. Every Friday they go out to lunch, and sometimes it's shopping. We started doing every other month they go to dinner. So that's, and then like at Christmas time, they go see Christmas lights and stuff like that.
Okay. And as I remember, if you are kind of a member, do you still get the kind of calendar of activities offered, or is that on the website?
I have it. I have copies right here.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We have a calendar. It comes out every month.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. So what are additional kinds of things that go on? Is there any sort of food service?
We serve a congregate lunch there every day at noon.
Okay.
And it's a $3 donation. If you're under 60, it's a $6 donation.
Okay.
And it's good food. It's great food, actually, and it's worth. We had spaghetti and meatballs today.
Oh,
and they love it.
Very good. And again, you would know the menu ahead of time. And
Yeah,
so
we have a monthly menu.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Very good.
Yep.
So that sounds like a very reasonable, price to invest. If you can. If you can't, it's still okay
Yep.
to come and check in with you.
No, yeah, it's all about having fun. It's about providing them somewhere safe where they're not being scammed and they're not, and we do programs to try to prevent that kind of thing out there too. We want to keep them safe and happy and healthy. So, and it's all about fun.
So is the transportation that is available, does that run out of your center?
So we have medical transportation and we have some non-medical transportation.
Okay.
And sometimes we can actually go get homebound seniors and bring them to the senior center.
Okay.
But the medical transportation is also there. And then I also run the supportive services program, which is homebound clients are able to sign up for things like HEAP. I'm getting ready to go pick up an air conditioner and go deliver it to a homebound senior here in a little bit. So that's another thing that we do out of the 741 center there.
We were just talking before we started filming. I remember interviewing you, and we were talking. It must have been pre-COVID.
Yes.
It's been a few years ago.
Yep.
But you have been involved with the center for a number of years, right?
Yep, 6 years now.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
Well, it's a very valuable, very active, part of Warren County Community Services that you might not even.
And a lot of people don't even know we're out there. So, yeah.
Okay. Very good. Well, are there any activities or special events or anything coming up that you'd like to share with our audience?
So we will be having a picnic over at Omker Park in September.
Oh.
And then we'll have a little special thing in October called Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Oh.
So that sounds real fun. He's going to come in. We've got a speaker coming in talk about ghosts.
Oh.
And then we'll have like little spooktacular bingo afterwards. So it'll be a lot of fun for them.
Okay, very good, very good. So again, to find out all the activities, the calendar, and so forth, if you're here at the fair, the WCCS mobile unit is located right inside the main gate. You can't miss it. It's right across the walkway here from this huge tractor trailer that's on the other side. So there's a lot of green going on here at the fair today with these mobile units. So if you're coming to the fair, check in, and you'll be other places, right? I mean, if people would like to have you set up the mobile unit, maybe at their company or maybe in a community, they can do that.
That you would have to check with Dawn.
Okay.
But
okay.
That wouldn't be my decision.
Okay, but you are trying to get out into Warren County,
the community, and let them know what kind of services we have.
Okay.
We're all about making people's lives better.
Okay. And making people's lives better, and also the classic Warren County Community Services is hoping that you're feeling good. So we're happy you joined us today here at the Warren County Fair. Bye for now.